remember a box of tissue they had there, and that kind of made me laugh. And it was kind of like one of the best days of my life, honestly. Not to cry. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Casey, also known as the Carolina Hustler here on YouTube. Hey guys, today's video is going to be a little different. Today's video, I'm going to do an eBay online reseller versus what it's like to be a full-time employee or working full-time for another person or a job for, say, a 9 to 5. So guys, the reason why I can make this video is because I am a full-time eBay reseller. This is what I do full-time. I go around to thrift stores, garage sales, estate sales, and I look for things to flip online on platforms like eBay and Facebook Marketplace, and I try to flip it and make profit with it, and that's how I pay my bills. That's how I make a living. I was a full-time employee for the last, probably 20 years of my life, and this year I got fired. So this is probably one of my last videos of the year. Guys, if you're not subscribed to me, and if you like content like reselling and going on yard sale adventures and learn how to be an entrepreneur, if you like, hit the subscribe button, that'd be great. We got a little backstory on me. I did get fired from my job back in April. And back in April, I was working for a company where I delivered uniforms and picked up dirty rags off the ground. My last day was April the 3rd, April the 6th, I'm sorry. April the 6th, I was let go from that job, and it came as a surprise. I was called into an office. And when I got called into the office, I thought they were just giving me a COVID brief, let me know, about safety measures, and let me know what, wasn't because anything I did wrong, but that's what it was. Long story short, I got fired. I never forget, I remember a box of tissue they had there, and that kind of made me laugh. And it was kind of like one of the best days of my life, honestly. Not to cry about, and that's what the tissue box was for. It was for people who were crying, and it was unfortunate for people who got let go. But for me, I saw it as a great opportunity to pursue my full-time eBay reselling journey, which I've been part-time reselling for about two and a half, and really trying to find my feet in the eBay world for the last 5 years. I used to sell t-shirts on eBay in 2014 and car parts. And like I said, luckily for my buddy Jesse, who showed me the golf club game, that kind of got my way into the door. And today I am a full-time eBay reseller who knows a lot about golf clubs and other things too. I watch a lot of YouTube channels, so I know a lot about other things as well. If you haven't watched my videos, you'll see I sell other items. And also, guys, I got another trinket here. My last day at work, I was drinking this Red Bull back in April 6, 2020, and I remember crunching it as they were telling me I was getting fired. And I kept this as a token to remind myself, about that day, because it wasn't really just a bad day. I mean, it was a great day. I mean, honestly, those times were scary. I mean, it's still scary. But back then, my wife also, she's a nurse, and they were talking about laying her off. And I'm a father of two, and you're talking about both incomes being destroyed. And let's just be real, my YouTube channel is not monetized, so I wasn't getting AdSense revenue. And I'm still trying to figure out YouTube, but I do enjoy doing my YouTube videos. And if it wasn't for Old School Picker, I'm gonna give him a shout out. If it wasn't for that guy, I'd done probably quit YouTube by now. And a lot of y'all guys who comment on my videos and say it helps, and y'all are making money from a lot of the advice from golf club knowledge and whatever it may be, it does inspire me to make more videos. So I do appreciate all y'all. Thank you for that. Anyway, guys, so I'm gonna get into the video. I really am. I just want to give the backstory on my employment. So one thing we'll get into is time. So one of the pros and cons of that being a full-time reseller, pros is I own the time. Like, I can do anything I want, and that is one of the things I've always dreamed about doing. I don't have any boss or anybody telling me what to do, when to do. I can go on any break I want. I hated that. I hated someone telling me when to go on break. I've been in a full-time job where they would blow the horn every 15 minutes or every 2 hours. I hated that. That was terrible. So now I don't have to worry about that anymore. I am disciplined though. Sometimes I'll be eating and working at the same time, so I do try to stay pretty productive. I even wrote myself a letter, back when I was 21, and describing that was the ultimate goal. And I went to so far lengths of wanting my own time that I actually went back to school when I was 29, 30. I'm 34 now. And right after my son was born, I went back to school to become a school teacher so I could have the summers off, so I could have more time. But, that was not my calling, and I wasn't able to pursue that. I completed one semester, got all A's, but I definitely was not into doing that. The cons too, the time. Owning your own time, that's great. But I will tell you, owning your own time, it does get frustrating a little bit because I get wrapped up into doing the reselling stuff where I'm packaging or I'm listing or I'm sourcing, and that takes up so much time. And it actually takes up more time than a 9-to-5 something. I can go anywhere I want, do what I want. I do have to pick up my kids from daycare. My wife is still working full time, and she's a nurse, and she only works 3 days a week, which is great. But however, I have to pick up my kids from daycare. I still send my little girl to daycare, and we can afford it. I mean, the money's great, and I will get in that in a minute. But I will say, my son, he's in school, and I have to pick him up, and that's a great thing too, because I have the availability to pick him up where she doesn't have to worry about it or have an aftercare to, have my son go to. So time for pros and cons, yeah, I mean, this gig can take a lot of time from you. I mean, I spend probably 45, 60 hours a week doing this, but I love doing what I'm doing. I have no problem spending the time. I just get wrapped up in a little too much. Hey guys, on the second topic, we have money. So a lot of people get worried about this topic because you really, I mean, that's the most important thing. You want to have enough money to pay your bills so you can, prosper in life here, so you can make this actually work. So if you want to be a full-time reseller, you do need to know, your budget and how much money you got coming in and a consistency. And that kind of goes into a con of this. As a full-time employee, you actually kind of know how much money you're going to make. You got a consistency of knowing that you're going to make. I mean, for me, when I was a full-time employee, I was always like a $40,000-$50,000 a year job. And most of the time I was bringing home about $400-$500, maybe $600 every week. And then the pros of being a full-time eBay reseller, the sky is the limit. You can make as much money as you want. That's one of the best things I found out about this. I mean, the more you list, the more money you make. Consistently made, anywhere from $8,000 to $10,000 in gross sales, netting over $3,000 in profit every month. And you gotta find stuff. I mean, really, that's one of the cons. You don't know what you're gonna find out there. But most of the time, if you live in a good populated area, and you got about 6 to 8 thrift stores to choose from. You got yard sales every weekend. I mean, even with the competition out there, you should have no issues finding inventory to flip stuff in your eBay store. But hey, and also with money too. I mean, I have more time. I go back to time, but I have more time to figure out things. Like I just did a refi on my house. I got more time to figure that out, and I also give some credit to my buddy Matt. I think he's one of my subscribers here on YouTube. I appreciate it. But he kind of told me it was kind of stupid for me not to do this. He's like, you shouldn't even concentrate on YouTube. You should be concentrating on refinancing your house. So I did. So that brought my budget even lower. So now the money's not as tight. So I'm getting ahead a little bit more on that. I also do stock market investing. So I have more time to sit here, look at stocks during the day and figure out what to buy. I mean, my portfolio I've went from owning like 3 stocks to like 10 growing stocks over the past year because the market was so far down. So that's another pro there too, having the time and the money to sit here and figure that out. So it's really compounded itself. So money, honestly, I really don't think it's that big of an issue as long as you've been a part-time reseller and you have a consistent knowing that you can profit. I always say you need to at least know you can profit at least $2,000 a month, not gross, but profit after everything's paid, fees. And my worst week ever has been this week, actually, the last week of December. I just put out like 5 packages. I think this week alone, because I had a lot of returns, and that's another thing that's aggravating. You get returns, and especially you gotta count on the USPS or whoever your mailing service to deliver these packages, and if they don't, you're putting out refunds. And I've done a lot of that this month, and that's been aggravating. So I hope they get that situated. It looks like it's getting better, but this week I've only made $400, and I mean that's fine. That's the lowest. Normally it's between $1,000 and $2,000 every month back, what I get paid from eBay, and that's not net profit. That's just what they pay me because some of that's factored in. I have a different way I do it, so I'm not gonna get into that in this video, but that's usually what I see every week is about $1,000 or more. So being about $400 this week, that's fine. And then the last thing I want to talk about is camaraderie and fellowship with other coworkers. So as a full-time eBay reseller, you don't get that. You will have to, you're by yourself. I mean, I got my wife here, my kids, but I'm physically by myself. Versus when you're at your full-time job, you have people there you're working with. Now we know the cons of that too. You can get aggravated quickly with people you're working with, and I've been there. you get kind of hot-headed with them, or you get a little aggravated on how they're doing things. At the same time, like, I watch my wife every day leave for work, and she'll sit there and talk about her friends at work and how, you know, I think that's what keeps her going. That, like, she gets to camaraderie with these people that, you know, are really nice and professional, and she gets to see them every day, and it kind of keeps her flowing in her work day. And that's a nice thing to have, versus when you're a full-time eBay reseller, you will not have that. I will say back a few months ago, there was a Econ and Beyond. I will shout out Pittsburgh and the Everyday I'm Hustling. Those guys there were cool, man. I actually enjoyed sitting there and watching those. I'd have them in my background. They had a live chat every day at 10 o'clock, and I felt like those were my coworkers, because there was a bunch of resellers in that. And well, they don't have it anymore, and that's fine. I get it. I mean, they probably want to create more content on their YouTube channels, but other than that, I mean, and you have the resell community behind you. You know, they'll and support you, especially on Instagram, on YouTube. And I appreciate everybody who's supported me over the time. But you know, that's been awesome there. But yeah, that's the pros and cons of that. I mean, hey, you're gonna sit here alone and you're gonna be working by yourself, and that could be great, but also it could be lonely. And I've gotten there. I mean, there's no Christmas parties, I've been a full-time employee my whole life. This is the first year I was a self-employed person, so there is stuff missing here. Those 3 items there are probably the most important things, though, that I think that you can kind of show pros and cons, and hopefully I gave a little bit. That's not everything about, you know, an eBay resale versus a full-time employee. That's not everything, but that's kind of what I've kind of generated up. As I don't see myself ever returning back to the workforce. I don't ever see myself working for anybody else ever again other than myself. Now, it could happen, and that's fine. I have no problem with anybody working for somebody, or I have no problem with a full-time job. It's just not for me. I never really liked it anyway, and it was soul killing, and I'm glad I'm on this side of it. So guys, if you ever have any questions, or you want to leave a comment below on full-time eBay reselling, or questions in general for me, they're great. Just leave it below, or you can instant message me on Instagram. I usually post there daily. Anyway, guys, I appreciate y'all watching today. If y'all could smash the like button, that'd be great, and we'll see y'all on the next video. See ya.